So,
hey everyone.
We just nailed the first podcast ever. And it
Didn't quite work.
It didn't film. So, we're going to have that conversation with you again. So, we want to welcome you to we're going to be over there being too much podcast, having a lot of fun.
Yep.
So, let's start again.
Let's do it.
Let's recreate the magic.
All right.
Okay. So, how do we start? So, the topic of today, we're going to start with the topic of today. So, Liz and I met yesterday because we needed to kibitz about the fact that my ex-husband, I didn't think I would have on my bingo card, my ex-husband is a federal felon. And that happened this week.
Bingo.
So, bingo. Bingo. Rounding out a commonality to some of our experiences in our life, which is bad choices in men for good reasons and really bad choices. That we realized as we were talking about it are about us thinking that we needed to save someone or buy love. Because we had always been told our whole entire lives that we're too much. So we're the too much girls. And what we want to do is teach you that it's okay to be too much. And that if you try to quiet the feelings, that being too much is this, you have all these feelings that, like you said, the people around you are like, oh, you're too much. You're too much.
Yep.
So like go back to, we were talking on the podcast that didn't film about high school.
Yeah.
And where it starts. Where did you start feeling like you were too much?
When I felt like I was too much, honestly, when I always ended up alone. When I always ended up without all the friends and the friend circles that I created, ending up on the outside.
And you would solve everyone's problems.
Yes, absolutely. I'd create all the wonder of it and then be pushed to the outside. I never had a boyfriend. The boys never asked me out.
Yeah, me neither.
And always wanted to be my friend. Always wanted me around.
Keep them out of trouble.
Yep. All sorts of things.
Do their homework.
Yep. And like they love that, like a cute, cool girl can be a guy, can hang with the guys,
I'm a guy's girl.
But I can also like cook and clean for you. So it works out really well. Right. And, I asked some of my guy friends after high school, why would you never ask me out? You asked all my friends out. I mean, and not to say I didn't love them, but like, come on, And they said, because you're too much. You are too pretty, too intimidating, too independent, too skilled, too this. And I was like,
I don't need you, so therefore I'm too much. Right.
But I'm home alone.
Right, I know.
Watching 16 Candles on repeat.
Same.
Crying.
Yeah, I know. It was bad. It was really bad.
Like, that was my reality.
And so then as we got older, we after I had a great marriage, Liz knew my husband. But I'm married. I was lucky. But after that, after he died, I really I went like shopping for someone to love me. I had money and I thought I needed to do everything for someone to prove that my being too much wasn't too much.
Absolutely. It compensated for that.
Yeah. They could tolerate me because I could buy things.
Right.
And I felt powerful and I felt, and all those things. And then, now.
And all I want back is this much love.
Right.
Right. All I'm asking, all I'm hoping for is this much. You know?
Yeah. And in fact, we would bleed me dry.
Yes.
So we have that in common. And we decided that it was a great way. Well, we got together because I wrote a book and I wanted Liz to help me sell it. And then we started talking about how that felt really not like fun when we started worrying about, how are we going to do it? And then we got an inspiring idea. And part of our whole shtick is about, it's not a shtick. It's we want to help you unlearn the rules to life that you think are the rules, which include listening for your intuition and your soul. And the book, because we're going to do a shameless plug because we're doing this to help sell the book and the next book, which I'm in the middle of writing and Liz is helping, and it's really a workbook, and it's about feeling that disconnection. It's about the loneliness. It's about how we felt lonely and disconnected when we were our most powerful. We were perceived as too much.
Yes.
And what that did is we became very good performers, independently, but of being smaller. Yeah, how small can I be? Right?
Because my job is to fit.
And fit into what you expect of me, because my worthiness, my feeling of self-worth is based on whether you approve of me or not.
Absolutely.
Yep. And we're actively learning not to do that. And the way it all started was when my husband died. I was there, and you told me something really special.
I was the first one there at the house.
I know, it was awful. My husband
my
died.
House.
So also not on my bingo card when I was a kid was I was thinking I'd be a 33-year-old widow and my husband dying on Christmas Day while we were opening presents with our kids. And so part of me finding meaning in this was it was either going to crush me or I was going to figure out how to make it mean something. And so the book is about after he died. And my sister had died 2 years before in a car accident, and she was my best friend. And so really it was like cut off my right arm, cut off my left arm. And now now I got 2 kids under 10. I'm 33 years old. I got 2 kids under 10. And it made me
all these rules, right?
Right. I had all these rules, but I didn't realize I needed to change the rules until after the asshole.
Yeah.
What that made me do is go, he was here. And then he was gone. He was dead. And his soul went somewhere because 2 days later, he sent me a shit ton of messages to prove to me that he was still there.
Yeah.
And I had asked him and he said no, because I think he knew that if I got a message, an unexpected message, okay, that I would really believe it. And let me tell you, I did. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to make you buy the book to understand the messages. However, what it did is it's not me.
But it becomes undeniable.
It becomes
There's
undeniable.
no way around it.
And then because I'm smart and I had to know how and why. And so I became a Reiki master and I really studied energy. And then after the asshole and I started getting divorced, but before he got convicted of a federal felony, I was looking for how did I end up here? How did I yet again give everything away to a man to try to get him to love me?
Yeah.
And I stumbled upon a podcast, an Abraham Hicks podcast, and I went, oh my God, the rules to life are different than I think they are. And are you telling me that good things can just happen and I don't need to jump over the hoop, climb over the mountain, get myself dirty and bleed myself dry for good things to happen and people to love me?
Right.
Then I don't have to do
flat
that.
Out deny it.
Right. And I had to listen intently to realize that I had to unlearn what I thought were the rules to life.
Yep.
And what I've done is created by being given them given to me in messages. It's not mine. I am the conduit. I'm like an Abraham. We call her Grace. She's a committee of people. And Liz can know when Grace is coming in and there are other people and Grace is a committee of souls. And I had to learn, I had to figure it out. And I was chosen as a messenger. And so the book is about the messages.
And that's the beautiful part of the book is that, it's your experience, but it's that we're all able to participate in this.
Oh yeah.
The messages are happening.
I'm a psychic medium, but I refuse to do it for money because I want to teach you how you can be your own medium. You can hear your soul, which is principle number 1 in the rules. And we're going to go through in a semi-methodical way, but not really because it's just us in a conversation about being too much. First of all, you are a soul animating a body. You are not a body dragging around a soul.